Hello friends, how are you all doing? Today we're going to watch the story of two friends who, unable to repay their creditors, flee Earth and escape to another planet in space. But while traveling there, one of them gains the power of immortality. Even if he dies in any way, he will return to life the next morning in a new body. This strange science fiction story is the basis for today's movie, Mickey 17, which was released in 2025 and has an IMDb rating of 6.9. The story begins in the year 2054 on a planet far away from Earth, located deep in space called Niflheim. There we see the boy named Mickey. He is unconscious, lying in a deep ravine. After a while, when he regains consciousness, he starts saying, "Even after falling from such a height, how am I still alive? Now I'll have to suffer and die slowly in this place." Just then, his friend Timo shows up, which makes Mickey very happy. He thinks he might be saved. But instead of rescuing Mickey, Timo picks up a flamethrower lying a bit above in the ravine and starts leaving. Seeing this, Mickey, surprised, asks, "Aren't you going to save me?" Timo replies, "My rope is too short, I can't reach down to you. Besides, if you die now, you'll just come back to life tomorrow morning in a new body. So I don't want to go through any trouble to save you." Saying this, Timo leaves Mickey behind in the ravine. Hearing this, Mickey lies there helplessly, waiting for his death. But then he notices some large, bug-like creatures from the planet approaching him. These creatures are called creepers. One especially large and ferocious creeper starts heading toward Mickey. At this point, the story flashes back 4.5 years to a time when Mickey and Timo were both still on Earth. Back then, they borrowed a large sum of money from a powerful mafia boss to start a business. Unfortunately, within a few months, their business suffered major losses, and they couldn't repay the debt. The mafia boss, furious about not getting his money back on time, captures both Mickey and Timo. He tells them, "You still have 1 month to return my money. If you don't, I'll cut off your arms and legs and kill you slowly." To prove his point, he cuts off another man's leg with an electric saw in front of them, saying, "This guy also didn't return my money on time. Now look at him." He warns them that if they don't return his money within a month, the same fate awaits them. "No matter where you hide on Earth," he says, "my men will find you." Hearing this, Mickey and Timo become terrified because there was no way they could repay such a huge amount within a month. So they decide the only way to survive is to flee Earth and escape to another planet. At that time, scientists were searching for a new planet in space, one suitable for human habitation beyond Earth. As part of that mission, a program called Colony Expedition was launched. In this program, many people from Earth were to be taken to a different planet named Niflheim aboard a spacecraft. The man leading this space mission was named Kenneth Marshall. He was a politician but had been losing elections for the past 2 years. So he decided to leave Earth with a large group of people and establish his own kingdom on a new planet. However, the problem was that most people on Earth were going through a serious financial crisis at that time. As a result, millions of people began signing up for this off-Earth relocation mission. But only people with special skills were being selected, such as doctors, engineers, pilots, police officers, chefs, and mechanics. Now, since Mickey's friend Timo was a very skilled pilot, he was easily selected for the job. Unfortunately, Mickey didn't have any special abilities or qualifications. So, in order to stand out from the millions of other applicants, he applied for the job of an expendable. In fact, no one else wanted this job. Since Mickey was the only one who applied, he was selected very easily. When Mickey submitted the form, an officer there looked at him in shock and asked, "You want to do the job of an expendable? Did you read everything written in this form carefully?" Mickey quietly nodded and said yes. But the truth was, Mickey had no idea what the job actually was. He just wanted to escape Earth at any cost, and that's why he chose this path. The officer then took Mickey into the spaceship. On the way, the officer explained, "The word expendable means disposable. From today, the company will use you however and whenever they want." Saying this, he took Mickey into a room with a special machine. Mickey was made to wear a special uniform, and then his entire body was scanned using that machine. After that, a small injection was given to him, which caused all of Mickey's life memories, from childhood to the present, to flash through his mind. The officer then said, "Your entire body and memories have been scanned, and the information has been stored on a hard disk. With this data, we can now create your clone. That means we can make a second copy of your body. Just like we can make multiple copies of a photo using a Xerox machine or printer, we now have a new kind of printer that can print not just physical bodies, but even human thoughts and consciousness. Using this data, we can create many new copies of you." In fact, the scientists were going to use Mickey as a kind of guinea pig for the new planet. They would make him do extremely dangerous tasks that would likely get him killed multiple times. But every time he died, they would simply use the printer to reprint his body and bring him back to life. Each time he was reborn, he would regain all of his old memories. After this explanation, the spaceship carrying Mickey and thousands of others like him set off for the planet Niflheim. It would take them 4.5 years to reach the new planet, and during that time, everyone would have to stay inside the spaceship. Shortly after the ship took off, Kenneth Marshall and his wife Elf came to motivate everyone. Kenneth, who was now leading all these people to a new planet, told them, "Since we'll have to stay inside this spaceship for the next 4.5 years, we all need to eat very little and conserve our energy. That's why, instead of real food, we'll eat synthetic food that looks like chemicals. But once we reach the planet, we won't have to worry about anything. We'll eat as much as we want and shape the entire planet however we please. In short, we will become the new owners of this planet." Hearing this, everyone on board became very motivated. Some days later, Mickey met a girl named NASA inside the spaceship. NASA was a high-ranking security officer. Over time, Mickey and NASA developed a close friendship that eventually turned into love. In the entire spaceship, Mickey was the only one doing the job of an expendable, which meant that scientists regularly conducted various experiments on him. For instance, whenever they developed a new vaccine or medicine to help humans survive on the new planet, Mickey was the first to receive it. If the medicine caused his death, they would reprint his body using the cloning machine. Similarly, if any issue arose outside the spaceship, Mickey was the one sent out in a spacesuit to fix it. If he died during the mission, his body was printed again. In short, Mickey was given all the high-risk tasks, the ones that could result in death. Finally, after 4.5 years, they all reached the new planet, Niflheim. But there was a problem. The environment and atmosphere of the planet were completely unfit for human survival. So the first thing the scientists did after landing was send Mickey outside to test the air. Due to the planet's toxic gases and viruses, Mickey suffered terribly and died. Then the scientists began experimenting on Mickey's body to develop a vaccine. Every time Mickey died during these experiments, his body was printed anew. After dying 16 times, the scientists finally succeeded in developing a vaccine that allowed humans to breathe easily on the planet and survive. This marked the birth of Mickey 17, the 17th version of him. Once the vaccine was ready, it was injected into all the people aboard the spaceship. Now everyone could move freely on the planet. They exited the ship and began exploring the surrounding area. A team of 4 people, including Mickey, was formed to scout the nearby region. While exploring a large cave, something unexpected happened. A creature called a screeper, native to the planet, suddenly emerged and grabbed one team member's leg. The others panicked and began firing at the creature. The gunfire caused a large chunk of ice above the cave to collapse, falling on one of the team members and killing him. Kenneth Marshall became furious with Mickey over this incident. He said, "Why did someone else die when you're the one who's expendable? Your job is to die to save others. Because of you, we lost someone today. You will be punished for this." Even though it wasn't Mickey's fault, he had no response. As punishment, he was ordered to capture a live screeper from the cave, and until he succeeded, he would receive half rations and be made to work 14 hours a day. From the very next day, Mickey began roaming the planet in search of a screeper. One day, he accidentally fell into an icy ravine. At that moment, a giant screeper began approaching him, and this is the very scene we saw at the beginning of the story. Mickey thought the screeper was going to kill and eat him, but surprisingly, that didn't happen. Instead, the giant creature dragged Mickey safely out of the cave, while the smaller screepers climbed over him and tried to play with him. just like dogs on Earth play with humans. Mickey was shocked. All this time, everyone had believed the Screepers were extremely violent and dangerous, perhaps even man-eaters. But now, these creatures were not harming Mickey at all. Instead, they were playing with him and keeping him safe. This completely surprised Mickey and changed his understanding of the creatures. After coming out of the cave, Mickey returns to the spaceship, shivering from the cold. He doesn't speak to anyone and quietly goes to his room. But upon entering, he sees another Mickey lying on the bed, someone who looks exactly like him. This was Mickey 18. Everyone had assumed that Mickey 17 had died after falling into the ravine, possibly eaten by the creepers. So that morning, Mickey 18 had been printed. Compared to Mickey 17, Mickey 18 was much more aggressive and confident. Seeing Mickey 17, Mickey 18 says, "Why are you still alive? Now I'll have to kill you myself." In fact, the situation where two clones are alive at the same time is known as multiples, and according to the rules of the spaceship, two clones of the same person cannot exist simultaneously. It's completely illegal. So Mickey 18 knocks Mickey 17 unconscious and starts dragging his body toward the broiler room to burn it. The spaceship had several furnaces where all waste and trash were incinerated. Mickey 18 intended to dispose of Mickey 17 there, but before he could finish, Mickey 17 regains consciousness. Begging for his life, he pleads, "Please, don't kill me. I'll do all your work. I'll hide from everyone. Just let me live." As they argue, Mickey's friend Timo suddenly enters the room, forcing both Mickeys to hide quickly. Seeing Timo, Mickey 18 gets furious. He says, "It was because of you we borrowed money from the mafia to start a business, and that's why we had to flee Earth and come to this planet. You didn't even try to save me when I fell into that ravine. You escaped Earth by taking the pilot job for yourself and never tried to help me. You've always used us selfishly, and now you must be punished." Saying this, Mickey 18 beats Timo up badly and throws him into the furnace. But just before Timo is completely pushed in, Mickey 17 intervenes, knocks Mickey 18 away, and tries to pull Timo out of the furnace. Even though Mickey 18 wanted to kill Timo, Mickey 17 wanted to save him. A fight breaks out between Mickey 17 and Mickey 18. Meanwhile, Timo is still hanging inside the furnace. During all this chaos, Mickey's girlfriend NASA and a security guard enter the scene. Seeing them, Mickey 17 quickly hides. Mickey 18 tells Timo, "Don't tell anyone what happened here, or I'll kill you the next chance I get." Then, he helps pull Timo out of the furnace. Afterward, Timo tells NASA and the security guard, "I accidentally fell into the furnace while working, and Mickey saved me by pulling me out. He saved my life." Hearing this, NASA and the guard are pleased with Mickey. Later, NASA takes Mickey 18 back to her room, and from a distance, Mickey 17 watches them and becomes extremely angry. He quietly starts following them toward NASA's room. But midway, a few people grab Mickey 17 and take him to Kenneth Marshall's chamber. You see, every month, one person from the spaceship is given the opportunity to have dinner with Kenneth Marshall and his wife Elf, and this month, Mickey was selected. At the dinner, Mickey is offered a variety of delicious foods, which he begins devouring like a starving man. He hadn't eaten real food since arriving on the spaceship. But shortly after eating, Mickey starts feeling extremely sick, writhing in pain. Doctors and a security agent rush in. The doctors inject him with a special serum to stabilize him. It is then revealed that all the food Mickey had just eaten was artificially created in a lab using chemicals. The dinner was actually an experiment to see if the synthetic food was safe for human consumption. Despite receiving the injection, Mickey continued to suffer. So Kenneth Marshall decides to shoot and kill him. But Mickey pleads, "I'm starting to feel better. Please give me more time. I'll recover." A security agent named Kai, standing nearby, feels sorry for Mickey seeing him in such agony. So Kai takes Mickey back to his own quarters. After resting for a while, Mickey begins to recover and eventually leaves to find NASA. When he enters her room, he sees Mickey 18 and NASA together. At first, NASA is shocked to see two Mickeys at once, but she eventually decides to keep both of them alive. They agree that only one Mickey will go outside each day, while the other stays hidden inside the room. As they're making this plan, Kai follows Mickey 17 and enters the room, sees two Mickeys, and becomes alarmed. He quickly runs off to report it to Kenneth Marshall. But NASA, determined to protect both Mickeys, rushes after Kai to talk to him. Inside the room, Mickey 18 asks Mickey 17 what he ate at Kenneth Marshall's place. Mickey 17 explained how he had been fed experimental food, which caused him intense pain, leaving him writhing on the floor. Seeing him like that, Kenneth Marshall was about to shoot him. Hearing all this, Mickey 18 became furious at Kenneth. Mickey 17 was calm and gentle by nature, while Mickey 18 was aggressive and short-tempered. Each time Mickey died and was reprinted, every version had a distinctly different personality. That's why, although Mickey 17 was peaceful, Mickey 18 was angry and impulsive. Now, Mickey 18 took a duty gun from NASA's room and stormed out to kill Kenneth Marshall. Meanwhile, Kenneth Marshall and his team had brought a giant rock from outside the planet and were using a laser to split it in two. Many people had gathered to watch. After some time, as the rock was split, two small creepers emerged from a hole inside. Seeing them, everyone panicked and fled. Some tried to capture the creepers. They managed to catch one and shot the other dead. Amidst this chaos, Mickey 18 attempted to shoot Kenneth Marshall, but NASA arrived just in time and stopped him. In the confusion, Kenneth noticed both Mickey 17 and Mickey 18 together. Since the multiples process, having two clones alive at once, was strictly illegal, Kenneth had both Mickeys and NASA imprisoned. The captured small creeper was taken to the lab for experimentation. It started screaming in fear, and its cries attracted the other creepers, who began to advance toward the spaceship. At the prison, Timo arrived where the two Mickeys and NASA were held. He told them that the mafia they owed money to on Earth had sent him a letter. Because they hadn't repaid the loan on time, one of them had to die, and a video of their death needed to be sent as proof. The letter specified that the victim had to be cut into exactly 13 pieces. If they didn't comply, the mafia would send someone from Earth to kill both of them. Timo said since both Mickeys were alive, he could just kill one of them and save himself. Saying this, he electrocuted Mickey 17 unconscious and took him out of the cell to kill him. But Mickey 18 tricked Timo into coming close and, with NASA's help, stole the cell key and knocked Timo out. NASA then tried to use the electric saw on Timo, but Mickey 17 stopped her. Just then, security guards arrived and took both Mickeys and NASA to Kenneth Marshall. On the way, they saw that the cries of the captive baby creeper had brought a large number of creepers who now surrounded the spaceship. Inside, Kenneth told both Mickeys that since they had tried to kill him earlier, he would now destroy all their existence. He deleted all of Mickey's memory and body scan data from the hard disk. He said he would now kill both of them and then eliminate all the creepers outside who were trying to attack. But NASA objected, saying the creepers were not trying to attack, they didn't mean any harm. In fact, they had returned Mickey 17 alive from the cave. They were only here to save the baby creeper locked in their lab. A scientist named Dorothy supported NASA and said the creepers were intelligent and trying to communicate. They had even developed a translator device to understand the creepers. Kenneth refused to believe any of it. He insisted the aliens wanted to kill them and that he would fight them. NASA, furious, told Kenneth he was foolish, that this kind of ignorance was why he wasn't even allowed to vote on Earth. If he did something stupid and killed a creeper, it would be disastrous for everyone. Angered, Kenneth tied the baby creeper above a burning furnace with a rope and told NASA that if she wanted to save it, she had to hold the rope with her teeth. If she let go, the creeper would fall into the fire and die. Helpless, NASA held the rope in her mouth. Outside, hearing the baby creeper's cries, the other creepers became enraged and began moving toward the spaceship. Kenneth then forced both Mickeys to wear special jackets containing remote-controlled bombs. He ordered them to go outside and cut off a creeper's tail. Whoever succeeded would live, and the other would be blown up. Before they left, Dorothy secretly gave them the translator device so they could communicate with the creepers. Now the two Mickeys walked together and approached the giant creeper. This creeper was the mother of all the other creepers on the planet. She was their main leader. She was also the one who had saved Mickey 17's life some days ago. Mickey 17 said, "Do you recognize me? You saved my life a few days ago." The giant creeper replied, "Yes, I recognize you." Mickey said, "Please, all of you leave this place, or the humans will kill you using poisonous gas." The big creeper then said, "In your lab, you humans have captured one of my children. Return my child to me. Also, since you killed one of my other children, one human must die as compensation. Only if you fulfill these conditions will I leave peacefully. But if you don't, I will destroy all of you." Right after she said this, all the creepers began to scream together. Their screams were so sharp and intense that no human could bear the sound. The big creeper warned, "Using this scream, we can destroy your brains. You cannot defeat us. If you want to survive, agree to my terms." Hearing this, Mickey 17 signaled toward the spaceship lab from afar, asking them to release the baby creeper who had been imprisoned. People watching from the distance could see Mickey's signal through cameras. But Kenneth Marshall was furious at the idea of humans communicating with aliens. He decided to kill all the creepers and gathered his men and weapons to go outside the spaceship and attack. As he moved along, he used a flamethrower to burn down many creepers in his path. Seeing this, the other creepers got extremely angry and began preparing to launch an attack on the humans. Meanwhile, Mickey 18 ran and attacked Kenneth Marshall to try to stop him. Watching from inside, NASA realized that if the baby creeper wasn't released soon, things would go terribly wrong. So she ran and used her fighting skills to grab Kenneth Marshall's wife, Alpha, by the throat using her leg. NASA shouted, "If you don't release the baby creeper right now, I will kill Alpha." Hearing this, they were forced to release the baby creeper. NASA quickly took the baby and ran to Mickey 17. Together, they returned the baby to its mother, the giant creeper. Seeing her child return safely, the big creeper calmed down. Meanwhile, Mickey 18 and Kenneth Marshall were still fighting. At one point, Mickey 18 cleverly pressed the remote detonator for the bomb attached to his own jacket. As a result, the bomb exploded, killing both him and Kenneth Marshall. Mickey 17 and NASA were deeply saddened by this. Mickey 18 had sacrificed himself to save all of humanity. Since both of the big creeper's conditions were fulfilled, her child was returned and 2 human lives were lost in exchange for the one she lost. She called off the attack and stopped fighting the humans. After witnessing her husband's death, Alpha lost her mental stability completely. Now 6 months passed. In that time, the Mafia from Earth had sent a man to kill Timo. But Timo, showing great courage, fought back and killed the assassin instead. With Kenneth Marshall dead, NASA became the new leader of the colony. Under her leadership, humans lived peacefully and happily. Once in power, NASA decided never to use clones for expendable tasks again. So she and others destroyed the body printing machine that was used to clone humans. After that, the humans and the creepers began living together peacefully on the new planet. And that's where the movie ends. So, we'll end today's video here. Let us know in the comments how you liked the video. If you liked it, give it a like. If not, feel free to dislike. We'll meet again in the next video.